Hello folks, and welcome back to another review and thoughts on. This one, of course, is my favorite of the franchise, Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Oh, this one I grew up watching a bit. I remember enjoying it. Of course, now that I'm older, I did, realize there's some stuff I'm going to point out that are somewhat flaws, but overall is still an enjoyable installment in the franchise. This is when, if you thought like part 3 was, the height of Freddy's, takeover in the world during that time, then this one like just sealed the deal. Because right after Dream Warriors was a hit, this one as well, as soon as it was released, became a hit. I think it was the highest in the franchise at the time. I think 49 million, I believe, or 50 million. It was either, I think, 49 million. I think Freddy vs. Jason made 50 million or more. But anyway, this one, is the fourth one. I believe, I guess, I'm looking at the plot. It says like a year after the Dream Warriors, I guess. So I guess pretty much, Nancy dies in the last one, which I reviewed, the first 3. So yeah, pretty much is. I guess it's. I don't know how to say her name correctly. Kirsten or Christian. I'm gonna just call her Kirsten. So Kirsten and Kincaid and Joey, who are the very last of the Elm Street children, the original kids that of the parents that killed Freddy. It's pretty much them at the beginning. Kirsten is having bad dreams. She's pretty much afraid, what if Freddy comes back? And the way they bring him back in this, I never had a problem with it at first, like back in the day, but like now, I'm not really too keen on that idea of a dog peeing, fire on his grave or whatever. I would like to, they had the idea, like right there is Kirsten, she's afraid that Freddy will come back. Why not? Why can't it be just her fear that brings him back? But apparently, they wanted to do something big. But then I liked his resurrection scene where he, like, the bones are getting all, together, and his flesh. Good special makeup effects in this film, practical as well. Even the camera shots or camera angles are good, amazing and interesting. Like the way they frame Freddy. I know the idea for this was, so he's pretty much James Bond. Like, I think that's what Renny Harlin was trying to go for. Make Freddy like Tom Cruise with sunglasses on the beach and that scene. But I don't know, like, I liked overall the movie. I will say, I did notice there's not really any gore in this movie. I mean, at least, like, I can't remember any gore. Unless you want, even Freddy's death, like, it wasn't really, I mean, it was sort of gory because he gets ripped kind of apart by the souls, that is a cool effect. It's very impressive, like, what they did to try to, how they built, like, the set for that scene. Really good. I would recommend, if you're a fan of this franchise, watch a documentary called Never Sleep Again. It's a documentary on all the Elm Street movies, and they go into detail of, like, all of them. Very good detail as well, and really well-directed documentary. But yeah, anyway, this one, overall, I still enjoy it. I still like it. My favorite scene in it is when Alice is getting ready in front of the mirror. Nobody really talks about that, like when she's getting ready to fight Freddy, like during the third act, like she goes in a room and does like an 80s, montage with a cool rock score, which is awesome. Really a standout moment to me in the entire movie. And then when she fights Freddy is really cool. I did like, again, how she kills him. Also, it's cool how they implement the whole, every person Freddy kills, they become a part of Alice, but then their power, or their souls go to Freddy, but their power goes to Alice. I thought that was really cool. The character of Dan, I didn't mind. It's funny in the documentary where the actor that plays Dan, he was like, "Oh man, I'm so bad they even gave me my own name." I thought that was funny. He pointed that out. I'm like, wow. But yeah, Kincaid and Joey, they get killed off in pretty lame ways to me. I mean, again, it's a cool resurrection scene, but the Dream Warriors, like, they get killed off so fast. Like, I get we gotta make room for the newer characters, but I would have liked if, like, we got maybe a scene with all three of them, you know, about to go after Freddy, and then they get separated or something, and then, you know, Freddy picks them off one by one that way. But nope, it's just Kincaid wakes up in the you know, the junkyard where they buried him from the third movie, and then his dog comes around named Jason. Funny enough, resurrects Freddy, and then Kincaid dies, and then Joey dies by, you know, naked chick in his waterbed. And then Kirsten's death, which I like the dialogue between her and Freddy. I wish she was alive for more of the movie, because then that would have been more interesting. Because I liked how the interplay between them, like, we beat you before, and then he's like, oh, now you're all alone, and stuff like that. And then, of course, she dies. He throws her in the... I didn't like how her death really was. Like, she just runs up to him. I don't know what she was planning to do, really. Like, what... Like, her power in Dream Warriors, I guess, was acrobatics. I guess, because all she did was flips. That's all she did. I mean, I guess the power to bring people into her dream, that's a blessing and a curse at the same time, to me. Because she brings Alice into the dream, and then Kirsten dies. And then it's up to Alice, you know, to fight Freddy off. I think they wanted to kill the dad off, which the dad's like a douche in this one. Of course, in Dream Child, he's not. Because they tried the you know, redemption with his character, which I liked. He's a pretty cool guy in the fifth one. I actually like the fifth one. I know a lot of people don't, but I like that one. But yeah, overall, my positives, I gotta say, it's directed by Renny Harlin. I don't know if it's written by him, but yeah, I'm not sure. It probably is, but I don't know. But I liked his direction in this. I liked the characters of, you know, Rick, who's like basically Karate Kid. I liked his scenes when he's like practicing karate. His death, I will say that it never really bothered me. I know it bothers a lot of people. You don't see Freddy really kill him. He's not really there. I think they wanted to do more with his death, and they said in the documentary, but like I guess they didn't have enough money for what they wanted to do. So they thought, why not? He's into karate. So let's just make a, you know, karate set. I don't mind it. I do prefer the original way they wanted to go, but, you know, I think the dad was supposed to die in this one, I believe. But then I think they thought it would be a bit too dark for the tone that they were setting, because this one's more fantasy, horror. I mean, Freddy, he's still scary, kinda, but you can tell they definitely wanted him to be more MTV, more cool, popular, you know, more hip with the kids, I guess, at that time. I guess it worked because, you know, it made lots of money. Because then after this, he became like international. I always say this. He's like the Michael Jackson of horror, because of the '80s. Because like Michael Jackson was the king of pop or whatever in the '80s and so on. So Freddy's pretty much the king of horror of the '80s. To me, anyway. That's how I look at it. Because like he was a phenomenon back then. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the movie. The cons I can give it are, I get why they couldn't, I guess, do like gore because the MPAA, whatever, was out to get films, out to neuter films, and they couldn't really do that much with that. So, but that and the Dream Warriors getting killed off really fast, and then, in my opinion, lame ways. And that's kind of it, really. And really, if you think about, like, I think the final shot is Alice and Dan walking off, although she sees Freddy's reflection in the fountain, and then it's like, did you really see him? Or so I don't know. I didn't really care for that, but that's sort of like maybe he can come back for a sequel. But of course they did that. But I don't know. Like the way this one ended, I wouldn't have minded if it just ended the series. I mean, granted, you wouldn't have got Dream Child or Freddy's Dead, which I will go over. I don't hate Freddy's Dead. Actually, I learned to embrace it, and I will get to why when I get to it. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this one. This one's my favorite of the franchise. Comment down below what your favorite in the franchise is and why. Do you think they should do a reboot of the franchise? I know they want to do reboots of a lot of these horror icons nowadays. So, thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and please like the video, comment, share. Peace and love.